And the Darwin Award goes to... Welcome to a slightly late Christmas video.
Jingle, jingle.
Christmas being that time of year when we all try to avoid Mariah Carey adverts. How did you do this year? This is Oil Boys of Fitness, where I will be discussing various oil-related hilarity. And while Simeon Panda is not an oil boy per se, probably, if a fitness celebrity is going to do stupid stuff, I'm going to label them oil boys. Because, you know, the upside of not having sponsors shackling what you say.
Hashtag oil boys.
Flex Friday. Simeon Panda went straight Mike Chang. 300. Brain cells lost. Thank you, Zeus, for making this possible. That was the funniest thing since Home Stallone. Think fast. And here are some modern day warriors. Of course, never do this. This is dumb. I would say that's obvious, but when you have people doing stuff like this, who knows? That was all me, bro. Ram bicep and Conor Murphy punching a wall. This video is an all-inclusive experience. The serious consequences of this sort of behavior can be, for example, this fella having 3 pounds of dead muscle tissue removed from his body. Sonny's crying over there.
Sonny's crying.
That's pretty much all that needs to be said about this issue. And this fella, who is the oil boy of 2019, his real name is Kirill Oil. The world is obviously a simulation. Has taken part in a mixed martial arts fight. He lost, shocker. And then a slapping competition. Was any sense slapped into him? Hang on a second. How can anyone watch this and not think this is ridiculous? I mean, come on, the range of motion. And introducing Simeon Panda. He was actually in my last video where I made an advert about body fat percentage scales. I think that's worth another look. Someone give me a beat. Buy it. Buy it. You know you want to. Buy it. But I did forget to tell people where to buy the product. In your nightmares is the answer. Simon says, let's do some towel bros.
Towel bros unite.
And so I understand that there will be some people watching this video that really like Simeon Panda. That's absolutely fine. You can like him. You can subscribe to him. You can buy his products. You can follow him. You can love heart him. You can do all that. But I want to explain something to you. This wasn't like Simeon was walking down the street. He saw a towel on the floor looking lonely, needing a friend, pressed record on his phone and started knocking out some towel rows. This hot mess of fitness vomit was a planned and produced piece of so-called fitness content. Let me paint a picture for you. They planned the scenes, then they went to the location, they got the right lighting, the right backdrop, the camera crew had to set up, the audio person. They then broke down towel row preparation technique, as you do, then performed the takes, then it went to the editing team, who made magic out of this mess by giving you various angles of nonsense. Then this glory would have been reviewed by Simeon Panda and uploaded to his social media platforms. My point is, to any Simeon fans, this is dumb. Congratulations, you made Sonny cry again.
Sonny was crying.
And so I do have to confess, I have an intricate knowledge of all the fitness models. I know all the Davids, Devons, Simons, but for those of you who've been living under a rock and you don't know who all these fitness models are, because it's very, very important to know who all these fitness models are, let me give you some facts. Simeon Panda is one of the most influential fitness professionals in the world. He is a fitness entrepreneur who has immense popularity. Not just popularity, immense popularity. Don't you forget that. Not just because of his amazing physique, but for his character and high standards in representing the sports fitness industry with towel rows. But I'm sorry if I am being slightly snide. I had a disappointing Christmas. I did not get my Gymshark sponsorship. Santa Claus did not come to town. Am I the only one thinking that that's a lawsuit waiting to happen? But I am in training for next year's Watermelon Challenge, and I am confident that I'll be doing stupid stuff on IG for Gymshark in the near future, such as screaming into a mirror as David's doing. The Gymshark creative director is clearly working overtime here.
Boss baby.
Honest question here. What is it with fitness personalities and watermelons? I think they're just doing it for the seed money. And so generic oil boy is not actually the focus of this part. Writer, stand-up comedian, entrepreneur, and Forbes is. I would have fell right away and hurt my head on the dumbbells. But don't be cynical, here's some science. I have been using it lately to tone and firm my body. As you can see, it stimulates deep down to my muscles. I definitely recommend everyone to get. And to be fair, that is straight comedy. Here's something else that will make you laugh. 4.8 million people. How did you manage to gather such a following? Ah, got it. Left or right? Is there another option? Who you got, left or right? That's what he said. Is it 2 for 1 on captions? Comment below if you want my workout plan. I would rather be the person folding the towels and handing them to Panda and Chang than following his workout plan. I am not falling into that trap. Unpopular opinion, I think this accurately represents the supplement industry. And when it comes to Simeon's behind the neck press post, there's Magic Mike behind him. The two greatest natural physiques of all time in one place. That is a very rare moment. It's almost one of those whisper moments. Someone quick, get the camera. And then this guy who's apparently called Tavi Castro, and Tavi dominates on Instagram.
Weights and Water starring Gymshark elite athlete Devon Physique, aka the Decline Intelligence Press.
David laid a pre-workout called Euphoria. Fine, good luck with it. I'm sure he'll sell a gazillion tubs of that stuff, but I'm not interested in your pre-workout, David Lade. All I drink is Bang Energy, out of loyalty to the most fantastically ridiculous fitness villain you're ever gonna find. Microphone mustache. More workout videos on now. Who you got? Left or right, ladies? And for the lowly price of $20, you can have your answer published in his Instagram stories. Looks like someone else is headed for that Forbes list. And he's a mate of Devon Physique, one of my very favorite videos on this channel from 2019. And so I can't show most of Devon's posts on his Instavirus page because they basically him and his partner with their clothes off promoting some supplement. But I am showing some images here, but for your viewing pleasure, I'm going to introduce the pixelated square. I'm Thermogenic James and I ooze heat, which like the fat loss supplements that Devon sells, cannot hack your fat loss. This is, I will try to sell you everything sports science from an Instagram Devon. And so I know his name is Devin, but tomatoes, tomatoes. So some of you are thinking, I've seen this guy before. Don't worry, you're not hallucinating from the branched chain amino acid smoke. Indeed, you are correct. Devon was formerly of Shreds, an alleged Photoshop failure who has evolved to just selling you everything he can on Instagram, including glute muscle stimulators, fat loss supplements, and hair loss machines, which I don't need. Winning. And so let's start with the dunce lift. This is complete foolishness. It is utter insanity. It is dangerous for him and the other person taking part and his followers, who are of course impressionable, and there are almost 2 million of them. Bro-jacked Unicorn was my nickname for him, but Oil Boy will suffice. Just say no. What is it about Bosu balls that attracts genii? You want a real genius? Right here. Everybody take a knee for brilliance. Looks like a bunch of snake oil to me. Nailed it.
Hello, this is what I did in my summer holidays.
Here's something I want to throw at you. This is what Simon had to say about the behind the neck press exercise. The behind the neck press can be an effective exercise for overall shoulder development. Most other shoulder pressing exercises tend to target the already overstimulated anterior deltoids, which also take a beating on our chest days. Translation, Mondays. The behind the neck press has a bad rep. It's bad for your shoulders. The reality is a person with good posture and mobility should be able to perform behind the neck presses effectively and, more importantly, safely. If you cannot perform the behind the neck press, it may highlight that you may have pre-existing shoulder mobility issues. For every person that says doing this exercise messed up my shoulders, it will be one of these 3 reasons: improper technique, more weight than you could handle, or a pre-existing shoulder issue. The exercise itself is gold. And so again, I'm going to throw this one at you. What do you think about this statement? One thing you may consider is actually long-term wear and tear through shoulder impingement. And again, I find it far more enjoyable to read what your input is on these issues rather than me just spewing words about them. And again, for those people who haven't seen it, here's why. Because to be quite honest, I'm sick of the sound of my voice. Can someone do a Rambo and wrench out my vocal cords, please? And why people abuse this synthetic substance is perhaps for a variety of reasons. It could just be attention seeking. It could just be people that like to do stupefied stuff. Some of these people may genuinely think that this is some sort of hack to increasing muscle mass and that they're tricking people. Let's dig myself out of that hole with a nice ending. I would sincerely like to thank everybody who has viewed these videos over the last year. Thank you for everything you've given to me. It is never taken for granted, and I greatly appreciate people who watch these videos and interact down below. Without the support, this channel would literally be nothing. I'm under no illusions. And at some point in the future, this channel is probably going to die and evaporate into dust, but the journey's been so incredible and that will stay with me.
We worked out like Zac Efron for a week. I ate like Michael B. Jordan for a day. I trained like Michael B. Jordan. And this happened.
Nothing happened, you crumpets. Physiology is not that sensitive. And I want to wish you the best in 2020 with your individual fitness journeys. And so I'm James Lincoln. This is Shred Spot Science. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.
People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same thing. You can make jokes about any subject. It depends what the joke is.